Andrew, what do you think? What does this company do, in your opinion?
Well, if I had to guess, I would say that they give my videos chapters, kind of stuff that you see on YouTube when it breaks down the video into separate sections. I
Okay.
don't use podcasts all that often, but I assume they're doing the same thing for those as well. Uh, so for landing page feedback, I mean, it's pretty clear, given from the first tagline what you guys are doing, which is I think good. There's I see a few call to actions. As I scroll down, I can see what the value, like the different value props are around like better SEO, better interactivity, makes it easy for you. I think all in all so far, it's pretty well conveyed. The classic testimonials, and then even a demo at the bottom of the page. And I think you also linked if I remember correctly, from the spreadsheet, another demo example, applying your tech to one of Pioneer's videos, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this looks pretty good. I guess my initial feedback is thinking about the target user and what they would like to see. So if I'm like a content creator or a podcaster or all of that, I think your copy is well designed for that target demographic. You explain the value prop in the feature section. You kind of explain exactly what the product does from the first bit. Uh, yeah, I think the landing page is good. I remember clicking on the get started link and it popping up open a type form. So there may be some slight drop off, but given that your guys are in beta still, but I don't think that's from the landing page itself. I think it's pretty good, conveys everything really well. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's interesting. The landing page is good. I think that it's interesting to think how this becomes a business, given that this kind of is done automatically for free through employment of just YouTube commenters do it. Now, I guess you might say the long tail podcasts don't have that, and so it's nice that like long tail podcasts can now, and YouTube videos can now have chapters too. Looks good overall.
I guess I would add a few things that maybe more minor. This isn't like a big change, but more. I would say for the call to action, it could be a little bit more obvious. Right now, it's kind of on the left-hand side, and the button's a little bit on the smaller side. Um, and I think as I scroll down, there's only two call to actions that I saw. One in the top right, which I think links to the same type form, and one on the front. I would just make it a little bit clearer, center, and also one at the very bottom, just that there's more touch points after the user has a chance to scroll through and understand everything else that's going on. The other thing that comes to mind would be pricing, but I'm assuming you guys are probably still figuring this out given that you're in beta. If I'm a content creator and this is something that will save me time, get me more users, presumably get me more money, I'd be interested to know how much this is going to cost me to implement into my video or my podcast. So if I were a content creator coming to here, I'd be like, oh, how much am I paying for this? Which I think is a good reaction.
The other thing that I'm wondering is if I'm a podcast host and I don't actually do video, and so most of my listeners are on Spotify and the Apple Podcasts app or what have you, where does this fit into their flow? And does this mean my users have to now go somewhere else? My listeners have to now go somewhere else completely, or does it kind of fit in nicely somehow? Yeah, from just scrolling, not clear to me what the answer is.
Yeah, in podcasts that I've used, in the podcast players that I've used, I'm not sure where that feature comes out. Although maybe it exists for some other players. The ability to kind of segment by chapter and jump from chapter to chapter. You're right in that it's a lot clearer for YouTube videos, given that we interact with them. I interact with them more regularly and can see how that fits in.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully